As Jacob said, I'm Lona Dallessandro. I'm a senior product manager here at Autodesk, and I work on IoT initiatives. We're part of the Forge organization, but we also have a branded product called Fusion Connect for our manufacturing customers. So yeah, I'm here to talk to you a little bit about how IoT is enabling cloud collaboration and really helping teams to do things differently. I work as a remote employee. I'm based out of Minneapolis, and I work with teams all over the world, both fellow employees and, of course, customers. That's my dog. She's my office manager. Her name is Peanut. She's 11. I felt the need to put something in there that would make you guys happy to be here at 8:30 in the morning. So anyway, when she's not snoring on my conference calls, she's my only person that I interact with, like, pretty much day to day. But I found myself constantly looking at new ways to collaborate over the last 20 years that I've been a remote employee. And it's gotten a lot easier, as you can imagine, with the internet, with the ability for us to do content collaboration in new ways. In fact, when I look at my desktop on any given day, there are a number of tools in my taskbar at any given time that enable content collaboration with my customers and my employees and friends. I can share files, I can video chat, I can chat via Slack with multiple people at the same time. We can version control in real time, documents and things like that. I can share images, right? And so we know that content collaboration is really, really important for the way that we work today, especially with remote teams and with the ability for us to communicate across language barriers, across cultural barriers, and across countries. In fact, as you guys probably know, there are a lot of initiatives here at Autodesk about content collaboration. So most of our tools in the BIM family and in the Fusion family have team-oriented approaches to them as part of the overall package solution, right? You have Fusion Team, and you have the ability to exchange files and iterate files in the cloud. And it's all because the cloud allows you to create, to compute using those virtual machines and the power of all that computing power, and to collaborate with each other in the cloud. So I thought about this, and I said, okay, well, what do the experts think about content collaboration and what's important? And so I decided to go to the Gartner Magic Quadrant 2017 reports and basically do word clouds around what I thought was interesting. And in addition to doing the word cloud around content collaboration, I thought, well, there's other ways that we can talk about customer experience improvements as well. Things like CRM systems, things like field service systems, all very important platforms now for creating collaboration opportunities and also the ability for us to better serve customers. And of course, as you can see here, cloud is a big deal. The leaders in each of these categories are leaders because they are doing this stuff in the cloud. And when I looked a little bit further, I also noticed that was emerging from some of these, especially in the world of customer relationship management and field service, was IoT. And so I thought to myself, well, what a better way to kind of introduce the notion of IoT as a cloud collaboration enabler than to kind of, look at how we can potentially use that data in new ways. And what we're really saying is that data that's provided by these connected machines gives you the same opportunities that files, emails, schematics, drawings, images, and things like that are already doing for us. And that's the premise for why we do IoT at Autodesk in the cloud. We're already seeing some benefits of this. The guys at ServiceMax will tell you that just by using this data in reactionary ways, they're seeing improvements in customer satisfaction, and they're seeing improvements in service technician productivity. So what are the ways that you can use IoT to enable new business models or to enable new service experiences for customers? Well, this is one, of course. You can do service optimization. You can do exactly what the folks at ServiceMax are telling you to do, which is create data experiences for service technicians, for your customers, and for your operations teams simultaneously, so that you can do things like proactive maintenance. You can do things like looking at performance data over time and making decisions about how many technicians you might need. You can do parts management in new ways because you can potentially get in front of the need for a particular part and have it ready for the customer, thus reducing downtime and making that customer happier. So we know that, in fact, this is probably the way that most people do it. In a recent survey that we did, everyone who is using IoT for service optimization today is at least claiming that they're getting some benefit, either financially or through customer satisfaction and stickiness. The second way that I'd like to talk about how you can use IoT data collaboratively is to enable your sales teams to do new and interesting things with that data as well. So you have your service technicians working, you've got proactive maintenance happening and things like that. You're also learning a lot about how your customers are experiencing your products directly. And if you are learning that, you can do something with it to either provide them with a new service plan that's a lot more tailored to their experience. You can use it to upsell them or cross-sell them on a technology they're not currently using because the data suggests that it's something that they need. And I think that's really powerful. We have a customer today that's actually taken their business and said, I'm not going to sell my machine anymore. I'm going to give you my machine, and what I'm going to sell you now is the consumption of the agents that we sell that you can use in dispensing in that machine. So they've gone from I don't really care about the machine, I want you to consume my cleaning agent products, and the way that you do that, I can tailor to you in unique ways, whether that's through price or whether that's through replenishment plans and things like that. That's new and different and interesting to them, and their salespeople have a lot more, in my opinion anyway, easy conversation with the customer because they're giving them something that the customer has some need for, first off, and the data suggests that they should have it. And thirdly, and maybe most interesting in the long term, especially for Autodesk customers, is the notion of improving product design by using this data, right? So again, you have a situation where you're getting real-time feedback, your customer is engaged with you, and you're seeing information about your products that you never saw before. You can make product improvements because of those things. You can replace components, right? So if there's every 6,000 hours, this thing goes bad at almost every customer I have, well then maybe it's a real opportunity for you to look at what that part is doing, why it's failing, and what maybe is a better part to use, or maybe there's a different vendor you should talk to. And I think that those things are important just to keep the product stickiness there. And what ultimately it does is allow you to learn about how customers are actually using your product. To sum up those things, then, if you look at it kind of on a business model canvas perspective, you've got real opportunity here. You can increase just the value that you currently have by doing a better job of servicing your customers. You can improve the efficiency of your partner networks and your distributor processes and things like that because you can swap out things that aren't working. You can engage with them in real time about information that you already have. And you can obviously do a better job of delivering new services to your customers because they're going to start to see that what they're getting has real value to them. And that anything that you build on top of it, you've built it that way because you've got data that suggests that it's good for them. And so at the end of it all, and what I think is like the more ethereal way of looking at this and the aspirational thing that we are talking about here really is that relationship with your customer and being able to step one or two paces closer to that customer and realize that the relationship that you're creating with them is almost personalized. We had a really nice presentation from the LimForge guys at yesterday's Forge DevCon keynote, and it was a great example of this, right? They are to a point where they can talk to each individual customer that they have, and the doctors and patient therapists and things like that that are working with them to really deliver an experience for that person that they couldn't otherwise do. And ultimately, what I think we're talking about here is the notion of design thinking, right? So we're talking about focusing not only on the product and what you thought it was going to do, but what its actual use and application is. I would encourage you all, if you have not yet gone on an IoT journey, you're going to have a reason for it. You're going to have an ROI model of some kind in order to get it funded most of the time. So think about the service optimization aspects. Think about the ways that you can build new services into your business. But especially if you're an engineer or a product designer, I think this is where you're really going to get the most benefit. So when you think about sensing up your machines, you're talking about, I want to know how my customer uses this thing. I want to know when they do things that I didn't expect, so that I can then better iterate and deliver a product that has more real value to them in the future. Thank you.